In this video, we're going to be talking about shallowing the golf club, that elusive position and move that everybody really wants. It helps them hit it farther and more consistently. So when we start talking about shallowing the golf club, it's that move when we go from the top of the swing. If you're not familiar with it, it's when we get up here and the golf club does this move where it sort of shallows out, we would call it, or falls behind you. It's a move that I think a lot of people misunderstand with the golf club, and they're looking for it, but what you got to start understanding is it's one of those things that kind of happens along the journey. And so what we're going to do is show you that there's a journey of, the golf club's going to be kind of going steep and shallow throughout its entire journey around. So what do we mean by that? Well, we're going to show you that we've got just a foam golf ball cut up and put on the club. And what we've done is put this where we would call this the center of mass. So what it is actually, where you kind of balance the golf club out. It's going to be pretty much this point on the shaft. Now, the real center of mass would be off the shaft, but this is close enough. And so what you're going to see is if you start to understand the center of mass of the golf club and what you're trying to do with it, you're really going to understand how to make effortless power and really hit the ball a lot better. So as we go through here, I'm going to start working on a swing. And when we see people swing a golf club and they bring it back, what we're going to see is people that get the club more shallow, they tend to be a little bit more successful when they get this club to go steep early. Okay, so when I go back, you're going to feel like the orange ball goes straight up, and you're going to feel like it kind of loops its way into this shallow position. So again, I think it's a little easier for people to see how they shallow it when they think more about this portion of the club as opposed to, okay, I'm going to get the handle to do this, or I'm going to get this, or whatever they're going to do with the hands, because a lot of times when you do something with the handle, the opposite will happen. So again, you're thinking about more this point out here on the club. So if we want to go through a swing, I'd like to see somebody start by bringing it a little more steep and work it to shallow. And that's going to let them shallow it out just a little bit easier as they go through. Now, one very, very important piece to this puzzle that I think helps people learn how to shallow it is, if we're going to go from steep to shallow, one thing we have to know is we have to go back to steep to be able to actually hit the golf ball. So there needs to be some sort of steepening motion. The way I prefer to do it is using our arms. So what we would do is we would go steep, shallow, steep. So it's up, it's shallowing, and then we're going to feel like we kind of get this club back over so it kind of steepens up as we go through the ball. That way we have enough angle to hit the ball, we can square up the face, all of those good things. So if we did this all in a motion, what it would look like is steep, shallow, and we'd feel like we can kind of whip that ball off of the golf club. So that would be kind of something we'd be looking for as we continued on through. All right, so again, we like to see go steep, shallow to steep. You'll feel like you whip the ball off. Something to try, it's just a foam golf ball. Find the balance point, give it a shot, see if you can do it.